When given a choice between water and gold, you might not always choose gold. Our priorities shift depending on our circumstances. This is exactly what Abraham Maslow suggested with his famous theory of hierarchy of needs. This hierarchy involves 5 stages of human needs that motivate our behavior. But why did he feel the need to create this hierarchy? Well, Abraham Maslow was an American psychologist in the 20th century who was not satisfied with how psychology focused on mental illness and negative aspects of human behavior. He wanted to understand what makes people happy and what motivates them to do their best. Inspired by studying healthy and successful individuals like Albert Einstein, Eleanor Roosevelt, and Frederick Douglass, Maslow developed his hierarchy of needs as a way to explain human motivation. Now, to understand all the stages of this hierarchy, let's assume a situation in which you're lost on a stranded island. Stage number 5. What would be your first concern upon finding yourself stranded? Would you start looking for treasures on that island or search for food and water? Most likely you'll prioritize finding a source of fresh water and food to sustain yourself. This is the most basic stage of Maslow's hierarchy, known as physiological needs. These needs are essential for human survival and include requirements like water, food, and air. Without these basic necessities, you wouldn't survive long enough to worry about anything else. Stage number 4. Once your hunger and thirst are satisfied, what would you worry about next? You'll likely start thinking about your physical safety and security. You'd need to find or create a shelter to protect yourself from harsh weather conditions or potential wildlife threats. This is the second stage of Maslow's hierarchy, known as safety needs. At this stage, you're motivated by the desire for stability, security, and protection from harm. You would be careful to stay away from dangerous areas and find ways to signal for rescue. You might look for a cave or build a makeshift shelter using branches and leaves. This need for safety becomes important once your immediate survival needs are assured. Stage number 3. Now, as you settle into your new island home, what would be the next thing you crave the most? You might start to feel a sense of loneliness and miss the company of others, craving social connections and comfort. This is where the third stage of Maslow's hierarchy comes in, known as love and belonging needs. Despite having food, water, and shelter, the isolation might start to weigh on you. Humans are social creatures, and the lack of human interaction would become increasingly difficult to bear. You might start to feel lonely and crave companionship. You might also explore ways to signal for help, hoping to be rescued and reunited with loved ones. Or if there were animals on the island, you might try to befriend them. Or you might create imaginary friends or talk to inanimate objects to feel a sense of belonging. Stage number 2. Let's assume you manage to find other people on the island. What would you seek next? Once you have companionship, or at least some social interaction, you would start to look for ways to feel good about yourself and wish to be respected. This is the 4th stage of Maslow's hierarchy, known as esteem needs. You might try to improve your shelter, create tools, or find ways to make life on the island more comfortable. These actions would help you feel competent and capable, boosting your self-esteem. Achieving small goals and being recognized for your efforts, even if only by yourself, fulfills the need for esteem. Stage number 1. Only after you meet your basic needs and feel a sense of security, love, and esteem, you reach the top stage of Maslow's hierarchy, known as self-actualization. This is the stage where you might think of going on a treasure hunt, exploring every part of the island, or creating art from natural materials. At this stage, you're motivated by the desire to realize your full potential, pursue your passions, and make a meaningful contribution. But did you know there's a problem? That might make you stagnate in the first 3 stages of this hierarchy and won't let you progress further. And that is your comfort zone. But don't worry, there are some alarming signs to recognize if you're unknowingly stagnating in your comfort zone that we've discussed in our video.